All right, y'all. All right, here we are once again. Once again, today we are going to do a reaction video to I am Courtney Michelle, who I am a subscriber to. Shout out to Courtney Michelle. But I kind of have some uh, different viewpoints on some of the things she's talking about. Now, this is me reacting to her reacting to a video done by a woman who said she's 40 years old, strong, independent, and still single. Now, I'm just gonna put my opinions out there, just like Courtney put her opinions out there. So, Courtney's true believers, if you're gonna come over here, please understand this is not no hate to Courtney. It just shows the difference between how men and women think about certain situations. All right, so let's get started.
Good family, this is your girl. I am Courtney Michelle, and I am back with another video. You guys, I saw this come up on my timeline, and I had to review it. And I haven't seen it yet, so we're going to walk through it and see if I agree with it or not. But the title is what got me. And it's 40-year-old woman, strong and independent. Yet no one is approaching her, and she is still single. What in the hell? Must be because she's 40. Gotta be. Who wants a 40-year-old woman? Yeah. Let's check it out.
Today, we are talking about dating in your 40s. And when I think about dating in your 40s, the first song that came to mind was Destiny's Child, Independent Women. All my women independent, throw your hands up at me. And when I think of that, it's because I feel like once women get to their 40s, and they're still dating, they're definitely independent. And then you get out there and nobody approaches you.
Well,
Okay. Well, let me let Courtney and then I'll
if
interject.
you're a woman in your 40s and you're not married, I mean, you need to have some kind of independence. You need to be working a job. You need to have a place to stay. You need a car. You need some sort of independence where you're able to take care of yourself. I mean, you're 40. So, I mean, that would make sense. You're single. So who's taking care of you if you're not married and you're 40? It's you. So, yeah, that's the idea. You should be able to take care of yourself. Everyone should be able to take care of themselves. However, it's that attitude. There's nothing wrong with being independent, but there's something wrong when you want to be married or be in a relationship and your independence overshadows your mate. Your selfishness overshadows your mate. You wanting to do everything and not letting your mate in. You holding things over your mate because you can do this and that. That's the problem. It's the attitude. You can be independent and still sweet and still want to be interdependent with your spouse when you find or when he finds you. But if you're 40, you need to come with something. Now you look too old in these streets to not have nothing.
All right. Yeah, I agree with her on that point. Those points make sense. So I can't disagree with those. Definitely. But the attitude is definitely an issue. It's going to be an issue. That attitude is going to be an issue. And men typically don't get into relationships to work harder than they are in a single life, right? Men usually get into relationships with the idea that things are going to be less complicated. Most men have no idea that most relationships are vastly more complicated than just a single life. If you really want no responsibilities and no, you don't want to work hard in a relationship, because relationships are work. I don't see how men, but I think I get it, because a lot of times, excuse me, a woman will see the problem is not that they present like it's going to be less work. The problem is they switch up. like a lot of times a woman will switch up and they will say, they will make it seem like the relationship is going to be less work than the single dating situation. And so the man goes for it. And then what happens is the reality of relationship life comes into existence, where relationships are work, relationships are sacrifice, relationships are you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of a lot of tension there. So sometimes, so therefore there's a lot of extra things that aren't on the flyer when you sign up, right? So unfortunately, saying a lot of times women switch up, and so men don't realize that. And the attitude, unfortunately, of some women will make a man say no. And then if he's even heard somebody talk about some of the bad things that happen in marriages, then he'll just say no, right? But overall, I think Courtney hit the nail on the head on this one, so let's continue on. Let's move forward.
What am I doing? Help me. I need somebody to respond to this and tell me what I need to do, because your girl needs help.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Shout out to Patreon supporter, Mr. Anonymous, for this video. This is his message. Check this out. Keep me anonymous. Pure gold. Mr. Anonymous.
Why is it pure gold? That's what I want to know. What?
Okay, let me help you with that, Courtney. The reason why these guys in the manosphere, and I am definitely not a manosphere guy, I understand some of the points that they make, but I'm not a manosphere guy. And, the reason why it's pure gold is because most of the guys in the manosphere are fueled by the sexual rejection that they have experienced at the hands of women, and it fuels them. So anytime the reality or something that resonates with the reality of how where sometimes women are in a delusion of how so they want things to go, and then the reality of how things actually go, those two intersect. That's where the manosphere will usually say this is gold, right? Because that's a get back for them for some of the sexual rejection that they've experienced at the hands of the women. So that's why they would say, "Oh, this is gold here, right? This is gold here," and so that's why that will happen. All right, let's continue.
What makes this pure gold? Because she's 40 and single, and somehow people get off on seeing women 40 and single. It's weird. This is pure gold, but has an emoji of a fox.
Thank you for your video request.
Now see, Courtney, she took it as an offense, right? Like she took it as an offense that he said it was gold, because she took it as him being happy, the manosphere cat being happy that the girl was experiencing this frustration of being single at 40, right? So, but Courtney is like, I don't understand why that makes sense. Of course, you haven't experienced massive rejection from women, right? So you will never understand why men do stuff like this. I understand, because if you look at most men, they're just little boys, right? We had a guest on our program called Leon Walker. Shout out to Leon Walker, and he really explained this as a former narcissist. That men are just big kids. We all really are just big kids. Even the women, we're just big kids when you get down to the root of everything. And so a lot of these men are so still walking around with the pain of that rejection. That's a real thing. And I think women discount that. Yeah, man, you're supposed to just get rejected all the time, right? You're supposed to go out, get rejected by women nonstop, day and night, all day and night, right? You're supposed to just get rejected and just be like, oh, yeah, it's no big deal. You know what I mean? But men, even I don't care how tough somebody, they get tired of that. After a while, you say, you know what? I don't want to be rejected anymore. And not at this level. I just reject. I can understand somebody saying, no, I'm not interested. But when they just pound you and say, you know what? You're not even in my category. There's women out here that do this. You're not even in my category. I'm not? No. But I can put you on to somebody else. I got a friend that's like working at the post office. Maybe she'll be interested in somebody like you. Right? That's why I say don't approach women no more. Just don't approach them. Just introduce yourself, and if they feeling you, they will continue the conversation. If not, they will cut you off, and just keep going your way. Don't take it so personally. I try to teach men this, but anyway. But this is why Courtney and other women, they don't understand why men in the manosphere have this happiness and joy when the reality of life hits women sometimes, and the reality intersects with their sometimes delusional ideology of how the dating market is supposed to go, or the sexual marketplace is supposed to go. They're so happy, right? They're like, yeah, this is a get back, yeah, right? That's how the men in the manosphere see it, right? That's why they're gonna always say, this is gold. This is gold. But I understand why they like that, because of the massive rejection that men get. Men get massive rejection, and women discount that. Oh, you're just supposed to get rejection. Oh, well. Oh, well, that's part of being a man, right? No, it's not. It's not fun for anybody. But I'm telling you what's coming. What's coming is women are going to have to now start experiencing rejection, high rejection. Women, you outnumbering men. You outnumber men. Some places 20-1. You outnumber men, especially in these major cities. Women are outnumbering men, and successful women are outnumbering successful men. When I mean successful, let me tell you that high earning women are outnumbering high earning men by far. So if you want to, the old church way, well, baby, just sit here in the church, and the Lord will bring that man in the door. That's not happening anymore. That's not happening anymore. No. If you wait for that, you're going to be single in 40, single in 50, single in 60, whatever, right? If you're waiting on a man to come to you, good men. Now, let me rephrase this. Now, I know I ultimately will always get this response, right? Clarence, I ain't gotta probably get no bed. I ain't gotta probably get no bed. I got bed all up in my DMs. I got bed all up in my Facebook. I ain't got all bed up in my DMs, all in my Instagram. I don't have no problem get no bed. I get that. You're not gonna have a problem get random men approaching you if you have a certain level of a beauty appearance. You're not going to have men approaching, no matter how bad your character is, no matter how bad of a person you are, no matter how bad you have torn your life apart. You're not going to have problems getting a certain group of guys that's going to approach you just based on your beauty appearance. But when you're trying to get a good man, see, good men are hard to find. Good men are hard to find, right? They're hard to find. There's all kind of men, but good men. Those are the kind of men you're going to have to, now, as a woman that wants a good man, you're going to have to approach men. You're going to have to start approaching good men. And you're going to have to stop doing the church thing. Shout out to the church. You know what I'm saying? No hate on the church or the mosque or the temple. No hate on these religious organizations. But they've been telling us all these times, if you want a man, you just sit here and God is going to bring them to you. Right? Like he going, yes, it's me. I'm a good man. I was sent by the Lord. Oh, okay. Let's go. Off we go. And they live happily ever after. No, it doesn't work that way. In today's world, it doesn't work that way. If you are not aggressive, and when I say aggressive, I mean forward thinking. You don't have to be aggressive in your behavior, but in forward thinking, right? This is why certain women get better men. Typically, Caucasian women get better earning men, better, more solid thinking business-wise and career-wise men, because they will put themselves in positions to meet them. Whereas, unfortunately, black women, in my opinion, man, they listen to the church and say, well, God will send them your way. Really, you want a hairstyling business, and God's going to send a man in there. The man you've been looking for. Typically, not in today's marketplace. I'm trying to tell you, good men are so rare, man. It's hard to, and so yes, there's men out here, right? There's dudes. When I say men, I mean males. I mean there's grown males with people with penises walking around out here. They look like men, right? They look like they're solid dudes. But a lot of them are not. They're just children masquerading. Most of us are just children masquerading as adults, right? So you want to find a good man? Oh, that is a search. That's going to take some forward thinking. Having dudes just hit you up in your DMs and hit you up on Facebook and hit you up on these dating sites, you know what I mean, Bumble and Rumble or whatever the hell they're doing out there. You know what? To have a dude to go through the dudes like that, good men don't have to do that. Good men don't have to be on no dating site. It's women all over the place for them. They meet women everywhere. Dudes who want to have sex are on those dating sites. Dudes who want to have sex, you know, and they trying to base it on their lifestyles, they're on there. But if you want good men, and that definition needs to be defined. What is a good man? Gonna have to define that. The last thing I'm gonna say about this before we move forward is traditional versus non-traditional, right? You're a non-traditional woman, but you want a traditional man. It's not. That's you putting a round peg in a square hole. You know why you single? That's why you single, because men are typically traditional. The role of men has not changed in thousands and thousands of years, in millions of years. Protect, provide. That hasn't changed. But the role of women has went through so many different changes, right? Yet they want you to protect and provide, but they don't want to be traditional or have any traditional traits, right? So that is a major issue. We're going to get into that later. We're going to see how this woman that's actually talking in the video that is being, because it's actually a reaction to the manosphere having a reaction to this video. It's Courtney's reaction to the manosphere having a reaction to this video, right? So she's going to talk later. She's going to show how she's a non-traditional woman. Well, if you're a non-traditional woman, you're going to attract non-traditional men. If you're non-traditional, you're not going to attract traditional men. But see, a lot of times what women like to do, and men are not as much, because men are pretty much, you get what you see with men. But with women, pretty much what they try to do is they try to convert everybody. They try to do a conversion. I'm going to convert you into this, right? I mean, so, you a bad boy. I'm going to convert you into a good boy being with me, right? I'm going to convert you, right? So they always try the conversion method, and the conversion method never works. It never works long term. Never works long term. What you have is a situation like the Jeezy situation, right? I'll try to do what you're asking me to do. Okay, you want to get married? I'll try it. I'll do it. I'll try it. I'll attempt it. This ain't what I really want to do, so I ain't all in it. But I'm gonna try to be as all in it as I can for you. That's a wrong way to go into a marriage or a long-term relationship, right? Or any commitment, right? Business, anything, right? You have a business partner. They say, "Hey, you putting in I'm putting in $100,000. This person gonna put in 50," and they say, "Well, I'm gonna move like I'm with you, but I'm not as committed as you." Who wants to go into a relationship like that? But women will go into relationships with guys like this, thinking they can. You know what? And it's the same syndrome, the golden vagina syndrome. I got the golden vagina. I can convert him. This vagina? I can convert him, girl. Right? I got the golden vagina. Yikes. All right, y'all, let's continue because we got a lot of ground to cover here. Come on, let's go.
Patreon gang salute. Thank you for your support. This is one of those self-explanatory videos where a woman tells on herself, because women always tell on themselves.
Well, if anybody talks a long time, people tell themselves. Someone that talks, you can tell if they're on that bullshit, man or woman, because people are people. You can tell if someone is sincere, man or woman, because people are people. You just have to listen and have discernment.
Just ask them the right questions and let them talk long enough. What makes this video pure gold is that she asked for help. Check this out.
She asked for help, so that makes it pure gold. Like, again, is this something to jerk off to because a woman asked for help?
Now, see, this is why women would never understand why guys would say stuff like this is pure gold. This is like the get back for all that sexual rejection that they experience. So when they see these stuff like this, where a woman that said, yeah, I was out there, and men was all after me, and now they're not, to men that experience all that rejection, that's a get back. But you as a woman, you'll never understand that, right? Because you don't see that far into it. Like, oh, well, why? Why would you? It doesn't even make any sense. Why would you be? But you don't understand all of the rejection that men have experienced. Massive rejection. Massive rejection. Right? But in a woman's mind, hey, you know what? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go out there and just get pounded into the ground. Right? And then you find me, and then all that rejection that you was experiencing was worth it because you got me. Right? That's how a woman thinks, in my opinion. Right? Could be wrong, but that's because that makes sense why she would think like, why is this gold? Like in other words, she says, this is something you're supposed to jerk off to, right? Because her mind can't even understand and grind this down with what's actually going on, right? In her mind, that's just being mean. You're just mean, right? You're just being mean. No, Courtney, this is a accumulation of the high rejection. This is what do you call that? An illustration of the high rejection that men experience, sexual rejection that men experience out there in the sexual marketplace. They experience high rejection, right? Massive amount of rejection, right? And so, therefore, because they experience this high rejection, when they see women having to go through something similar, they are so like, yeah, yes, this is gold. We got her, yeah. And that's what you see happening here. This is not for no reason, man. Men are not like this for no reason. It's the high rejection, high sexual rejection that makes them crazy like this. But anyway, let us move forward. I just wanted to show you, man, how as a woman, she can't put this together. She can't understand what's going on, right? Like why would you just be this mean, right? All right, let's go, y'all.
Are we wanting to get the lubriderm out?
So now, let me also clarify this. So, because she does not understand the complexity of what's going on, she can only grind it up in her head the only way she can, as an insult for no reason. Therefore, her response is to insult them back. It's to insult the manosphere back by insinuating that they can't even. They are so happy that they have to just, they would even go and pleasure themselves sexually to a woman doing something like this, right? That's our insinuation, right? Like you are so weird that you would be happy over this. Now, I bet you would probably even pleasure yourself sexually to something like this, right? All right, man. I just try to show y'all that women think different than we do. Even the ones that appear like they would, they trying to understand everything. They can only crunch things so far as the experiences of us as men because they're not out there. Yet. The time is coming now, and the time is here now where all women that want a good man are going to have to get out there in the field, and they're going to have to get moving on their own. The days of you sitting back saying, I'm cute, I'm this, I'm that, right? Yeah, you can men are always going to be after you, but you're going to be getting the leftovers of around the good men. Good men are difficult to find. Difficult. Because they're hiding in plain sight. Good men are hiding in plain sight. The men that most women are turning off because they're not sexually attracted to them, or they think they a buster, or they think they just weird, or they think they just, because they don't chase money and chase women, they look at them as they busters. You know what I mean? I'm not finna hang out with no buster. He ain't even driving a Benz or nothing. The swag, right? The swag effect. Okay, so, but you're gonna get what you get, right? If you chasing dudes with just with swag, then you're gonna get what you get. But anyway, this is all points we're gonna cover later. So let's go over now, man. We just getting started. Let's finish with this video, man, because let's get through Courtney's Courtney's insulting of the manosphere. Yikes.
I used to like to stay in the house all the time. And I was like, Crystal, you're never going to find a man if you don't leave the house. But y'all, even just getting ready, putting the makeup on, doing your hair, finding an outfit, just going to shop for an outfit because you feel like I don't have nothing to wear. And then you get out there and nobody approaches you. What am I doing? I find myself coming home. I done spent $200 on a meal and drinks and still ain't got no action.
Okay, now so I can probably explain what's going on here, right? Women don't understand this, right? I've got all dressed up, right? The entitlement there, right? I got all dressed up. Hey, man, men are supposed to come to me, right? Men are supposed to approach me. That is high entitlement, right? But why, right? And especially, see, there's some realities of life that we all have to accept, right? We all have to accept. There's gray hair. That is a reality of life. I got a bunch of snow up here. Gray hair. That's a reality that we have to accept, right? Look at that gray hair. We have to accept it. We have to accept that. We have to accept that. And so some of the things, but I noticed that a lot of times women are less apt to accept realities, certain realities. They're not willing to accept that. And if somebody's not approaching you, it's not the community that's not approaching you, it's you. And that's the one thing I think that a lot of times with women, because women say, well, I ain't got no problem getting no men, Claire. Man, men are always chasing me. Yes, men will always be trying to have sex with you until you appear like that's not going to be a fun situation. So men will always try to have sex with you. And if that's what you're looking for, hey, have at it. You'll always be able to get men to be running around jumping in and out of bed with you. That's cool. I mean, well, I wouldn't say it's cool, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, then do it. You know what I mean? I don't think that part is the hard part. I think the hard part is getting men to spend non-sexual time with you. I think that's the harder part, right? And then most men will analyze you based on how you speak and how you carry yourself, how you dress, your beauty appearance, and your energy. And that's one I think black women, I don't know about black women, but I'm saying women in general, but I think black women more in specifically, they discount the fact that the energy they putting off is really off-putting because they feel like their beauty appearance should overlap everything, right? Their beauty appearance, and of course the golden vagina, that should override everything. No matter how bad of a personality they have, no matter how bad of a person they are, no matter how bad of a relationships they have with their family and friends, their beauty appearance you're supposed to just jump over all those hoops to get to them because of their beauty appearance, and of course the golden vagina, right? I think most women think that they have the golden vagina, right? I have the golden vagina. The golden vagina can transform anybody to do whatever they want them to do, right? In actuality, man, it's not like that. It's not like that. But I'm just telling you, if you're not being approached, I don't care if you're 30, 40, 20, 30, 50, 60, if you're not being approached, it's you. It's you. It's something you doing. It's not men, it's you. Men will approach you if you're approachable. Obviously, something about you is turning men off. Either your energy that you putting out, right? You putting out this 40-year-old grandma energy, right? A lot of women don't realize, man, the way they laugh, right? You laugh like you got that witchy poo laugh. Men when men hear that witchy poo laugh, when they hear that witchy poo laugh, they think about their grandmother, they think about their mom, they think about their great grandmother, their great aunts. They don't think about sex at that point. Right? This is what you want a man to think about when he sees you as a woman. You want him to look at you and say, this is a very smart and nice person. This is a good person, man. She's very smart, very intelligent, very she's a good person, man. She can think clearly. And I wanna drive her spine through her brains. Right? You want that simultaneous. You want him to think like that simultaneously. That's when you know somebody, because a man is really, because he can see all of the benefits of you, all of the good things about you, and at the same time, he don't mind spending his non-sexual time with you. But if he gets a chance to have sex with you, man, he wants to break your back out. He wants to drive your spleen through your brains, right? Right. That's what you want to go for, and that's the image that you want to. That's the picture you want to paint, because you paint a picture when you on a date. You paint a picture in a man's head, and the picture you paint, you the author. You the painter, right? So you gonna paint that picture. And with everything and a date is like a court of law, right? Anything you say will be used against you, right? It'll be used for you and against you. That's what's happening on a date. Anything you do or say will be used for you and against you on a date. So what you want to do is have more things used for you than against you if you're really feeling the person. Right? But anyway, I don't think it has. I think the main issue with her is not her age. I think the main issue with her is her energy. I just think she seems like she would be a ton of work to, men are not going into relationships looking to do more work than they're doing in their single life. And so this lady looks like she'd be a ton of work to put up with, a ton of work to deal with, right? And what would you be getting out of it? I mean, she don't even think enough of you to get herself prepared, like put her makeup on, whatever all the stuff she said. She like, oh God, I got to do all that. Why would you want to be with somebody that feels that way about showing you how important you are? I mean, she basically explaining why nobody wants to approach her, right? You can see it. You can get the energy off of her, right? She's like, hey, basically, she's looking for a girlfriend. That's what she wants. She wants a girlfriend, right? She wants a girlfriend that'll come in and just pump her up and stroke her ego and tell her that's what she really wants. But she wants a girlfriend to have a penis. And I'm trying to tell you, men don't get erections with women that are have bad attitudes, not men that are sane, right? Now, the younger the man is, that's why maybe she should go back to the college campuses. Maybe if she really wants a man, or she really wants companionship, rather, not a man, but you want companionship, hey man, you may hang around the college campuses, right? The junior college, as Coach Greg would say, right? Greg Adams, right? And you could go back to the junior college, right? You'll find men there. You'll find men, young men. I put it like that, and you can get some companionship, right? Because the younger the man is, the less they're concerned about your behavior, your age, your vibe, all of that. But a man trying to actually move forward in life, those things are going to be very much more important to him. Anyway, let's continue. Let's continue with this is Courtney Michelle reacting to a manosphere, reacting to this video of this lady saying, I'm 40 years old and I'm strong and independent and I'm still single. Okay.
What's going on? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Listen, that ain't never happened to me. I ain't never stepped out going out and no one's not approached me.
That is the classic woman role, right? I ain't got up how to get over there, Clarence. I ain't got up how to get over there. I got to be anybody else. I got to be in my Facebook. I got to be on my Instagram. I got up how to get over there, right? That is the classic female response, right? But in reality, yes, I agree with you. You probably will not. If you keep your beauty appearance at a certain level, you probably won't have problems getting men to approach you. Because men will approach you. Why? Because most of them are looking for sex. And if they are sexually aroused by your appearance, then they will, or if you feel some type of sexual arousal about your appearance, then they will at least attempt to try to create a situation where at some point in the future they'll be able to have sex with you. Does that make sense? That doesn't mean they want to have a relationship with you. That doesn't mean they want to go on have children with you. That doesn't mean they want to start a life with you and walk off into the sunset and forsake no other and be with just you. That doesn't mean that they want to do that. They just want to have sex with you. Hell, even good men want to have sex, right? Even men on a good path, they want to have sex. They just trying to go about it a different way. But most of them want to have sex too. So the fact that men are still approaching you, that has no bearing on what we're talking about here as far as getting a life partner. Now, if you're just trying to have sex, hey, men approaching you, that's a good thing. Men still approaching you? Yeah, because most of them want to approach you because they want to have sex with you. They're not approaching you because they say, oh man, you know what? You're wife material. How would you know if somebody's wife material just looking at them? Now, first you're aroused by them. You say, hey, look, you know, she's a very nice looking lady. Maybe let's check her out. Let's check more about her. Maybe, you know, maybe I could spend some of my non-sexual time with her, right? We got to see. We got to investigate. It's an investigation. Right? So anyway, don't let that break the logic, right? Well, men are after me. Of course they're after you. You have a vagina. Of course men are going to Of course men are going to be after you. And you have any semblance of a beauty appearance, of course they're going to be after you. So that's not hard. That's logical. That's nature. Okay? That's not no big deal. Oh, I got men after me. Of course men are going to be after you. That's nature. The nature of a man is to try to be around a woman, and try to, do nature's, complete nature's circle, right? All right, y'all, let's continue.
But it's because I'm approachable. I smile at people. I start conversations. I'm sociable. So if no one's approaching you, first it has, I hope she's not attributing that to being 40 because that's not the case. I too am 40. But I'm sociable. I'm nice. I know how to speak to people. I'm not shy. I have a personality.
All good things. All good things. Shout out to Courtney. All good things. All good things.
So even if someone doesn't even come to me, I'll go to someone. Smile. That's it. She's beautiful. She got to smile.
And people are like, men don't approach him. Like, no, nobody approaches me. I'm like, I don't know if I look like I'm mean, or some people say I'm unapproachable. Other people say, oh, you look like you already got a man. I'm like, I don't.
Okay, this is another thing that women don't understand, right? When men, I'm going to put this in a way where y'all could try to understand this. Men, because of the domination that they are trying to exert in their lives, they're not looking for partners most of the time. They're looking for victims. They're looking for a victim, somebody that they can victimize sexually. Clarence, what do you mean victim? I'm not talking about no kids and nothing like that. I'm talking about a grown woman. Grown men are looking for grown women that they can be they can victimize, to be victims of their domination. Right? And they can dominate this person. That's what most men are looking for. Right? The whole partner situation. Most men are not looking for that. Now, when you get to the business part of a relationship, okay, yeah, everybody can have their role in their partnership and all of that. But when we're talking about just the way the relationship flows, most men are looking to dominate in that space. And they're looking at somebody who's going to be smart enough and open enough to allow them to dominate. And then when they have to speak up, they're strong enough to speak up and say, no, baby, that ain't going to work this way. Why don't we try it this way? And they can object without destroying the dominance that has been already set up in place, right? A lot of women, they don't want to see no dominance set up, right? But yet they want a traditional relationship. I want a traditional relationship, but I don't want you to establish your dominance. That is not going to work with a traditional man. It's just not going to work. That's why you guys are out here not finding traditional men, because you're not attracting them. Just like this lady. She's not a traditional lady, right? I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Okay, you want all that stuff. What are you willing to do to make that happen? Huh? Right? I want this, I want that. Well, why? See, why is she not saying what she gonna do? Why? Because I got to go to vagina. I got to go to vagina. If you come be with me, all your problems gonna be solved. Because I got to go to vagina. But men look for energy off of a woman that lets them know that their program is going to be received, right? They're looking for somebody who they see that would probably be open to receiving and participating in the program of dominance that they wish to set up, right? But when they see a woman, and usually older women that have been through it, been there, done that, right? And they have the energy like, nope, you're not going to dominate me, right? I'm not going to allow you to be dominant, right? Okay. That's why you're not getting approached, because you got that kind of energy out there. Men don't want to be with people that they're going to have to work harder to be with. They want to establish their dominance, and they want the person that they're establishing their dominance with to also see the value in their dominance being set up and be on the board to maintain that setup as opposed to always attacking it from different positions. And then ultimately bringing that dominance down. And ultimately, that's why a lot of relationships just get destroyed, because the woman listens to the non-traditional women and, of course, the lesbian community, and they start fighting men on, establishing their dominance, and they start telling them that they are, less than because they are allowing a man to dominate them, which that is nature's way. Nature has set it up so that a man would dominate. You just need to be dominated by the right man in the right way, right? But domination has been such a bad word, but it's not really a bad word. It's just you having a solid program, right? God dominates us. God's way dominates us. Claims I ain't dominated by God. Yes, you are. The sunrise and sunset. Your life is built around the sun coming up and the sun going down, right? You cannot escape God's domination. You can't. But it's good for you. That domination is good for you. God's domination, where he set up photosynthesis in these plants that have healing properties in them for you. You can't escape that. But that domination is good for you. But see, a lot of these women have been dominated by men that had bad intentions for them. And because they don't have the eyes to see and investigate the character of a man, they just look at a man and say, oh man, look at his physique. Oh my God, this dude is oh man, he looks so good. He looks so good, girl, I got it. No. And he just, man. That's good. I'm not saying you shouldn't be sexually satisfied. But with the sexual satisfaction, you should also be investigating the character of the person and making sure that that character of that person is a good person, because men are naturally going to try to dominate. Any situation they come into, they're going to try to dominate. That's what we do. When we come into a situation, we're going to try to make it better. Most of us, we're going to try to make it better. We're going to try to come in and change things to make things run better. That's just the way we are. But a lot of women don't see that, man. Because why? Because now you have men out here that don't want to make things better. All they want to do is have sex with you, right? They want to come over late at night and just have sex with you. And if that's what you want, that's fine. But I think the average woman eventually, even if she's doing something like that, eventually says to herself, you know what, there's more. Even the side piece will eventually say, you know what, I'm tired of being a side piece. Eventually. Eventually, even a side piece will say, you know what, it's not working for me. So, but men are always going to want to dominate. Men are always going to want to dominate, and they're going to want to dominate in so many different areas, especially sexually. They're going to want to sexually dominate. So, if they can't dominate sexually, then they're going to be forced to try to dominate somewhere else. Not forced to, but they're going to be inclined to dominate somewhere else. So my thing is to the women, you got to learn from what's going on and see things from the men's perspective. I always tell women, man, stop trying to sell men what you want them to buy. No, you got to sell people, you got to sell the buyer what the buyer's looking for, right? Going to a car lot and you looking for a Mercedes and somebody sells you a Chevy Vega, you might buy the Vega, right? I might buy it. But guess what? The next opportunity I get to buy the car the Mercedes, I'm gonna take it. And I got the money and the time and I got the opportunity to do it. It's a wrap. And we don't understand that's how men are in relationships. I might buy what you're selling because you a good salesperson, but that's not what I want. What I want is what I want. Right? See, and many women say, hey, look, I'm going to convert you into trying to be in a relationship with a non-traditional woman. Right? Or a woman with no traditional characteristics. Right? I'm not saying you got to be walking around in you got to be barefoot and pregnant and never leaving the kitchen, right? I'm just saying, as you can't have non-traditional a thinking process, man. You can't have a non-traditional thinking process where your values are based on your values are based in the matrix in a pre-set up thinking process, right? Where traditional men traditionally value certain things. But in today's modern woman, a lot of times they don't, right? They don't value the same things. They don't value chastity. They don't value the femininity. To them, femininity is a mix of masculinity and femininity. That to them is and the reality of what's really going on is they just many of them. I'm talking about all women. Claire, you said all women feel this way. I didn't say all women. I'm saying some of them, enough of them to make a difference. All right, feel this way, and they just feel like, hey, I got to go to vagina. Doesn't matter what I do or how I act. I can be the horriblest person in the world, or I can be witchy poo. I can do whatever I want to do, man. And you should be and women discount, man. You know how many times most men have been rejected in their lives by women, sexually rejected? It's a staggering number. It's staggering. Some women understand it. Now, some women understand this, and they understand this. And they're able to, let a man down easy, right? Without, showing him she still got respect for him as a man, but she just in this situation here, right? But a lot of women in today's marketplace, man, they feel like you don't have to respect men. And unfortunately, it's so many of these men out here that are deranged and out of their mind, man. They stacking bodies with these women. And that's the unfortunate part. Let alone you just being single by yourself. And there's good men out here. There's good men out here. There ain't no good men out here, Clarence. No, there's good men out here. They hiding in plain sight. They hiding in plain sight. You walking right past them every day, right? You go up to get your coffee. Dude is working there at the coffee place. And he says hi. He give you a smile and he give you a little latte, right? You don't know he's going to school trying to be a doctor or trying to be a lawyer, right? You don't know, right? Good men hiding in plain sight. Now, the problem with a lot of these women, I hear them say also this. Well, I don't want nobody that's in process. I want somebody already done. Okay. That's valid. You better be 22 or 21 years old. You can't say that at 35 and 40. Unless you're talking about a man in his 50s, in his late 50s, early 60s, at least, right? A man that's already done usually gonna try to do a reach back. A man that's already done is usually gonna try to do a reach back. But these are realities, man, that a lot of us don't want to accept, man. We just don't want to accept, right? And then, of course, shame is used. We want to shame you into not being this way, right? Shame and insults. We're going to shame you. You shouldn't want to be with that young girl. But if an older lady walk into a club and pick off one of them young dudes, no problem, right? That's something we as men have to accept, man. If we do it, it's gonna be a bad look. If a woman do it, she's a cougar. She's fierce, right? Shout out to Tyra Banks, right? All right, y'all. Let's listen to a little bit more, and then we're gonna call it a day on this portion. I may do a second piece.
Oh,
Well, you got your answer, lady. You want to know why you're not approached? Someone help me. They did. They said you don't look approachable. So then change it. If you're not getting the results that you want, but you keep doing the same thing time after time when you go out, that's a you problem. Change it. Smile. Be sweet. Send a man a drink. That one works, okay? That gentleman over there, he looks like he likes scotch. Thank you, bartender. You got the scotch? It works.
I don't know if I need to just put a sign on back. I'm single, ready to mingle, and maybe somebody will holler. But like I try to like be more conscious of like smiling at people.
That witchy poo laugh, man. Stop the witchy poo laughing. That makes men think of their grandma. I'm just telling you, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you're 50, 60, 70 years old and you're trying to date men, don't do the witchy poo laugh. Right? Don't.
Starting conversation or saying hello, just so the guy can know like, okay, she's interested, or that was an invitation to have a further conversation, but y'all don't get it. Like, I don't understand. Help me. I need somebody to respond to this and tell me what I need to do.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what you need to do, but you ain't gonna do it. I know you ain't gonna do it. You too old to do it. You too old to change your ways. You're gonna say no, Clarence. You're gonna say yes, Clarence. I listen to you. I understand, and then you're gonna go back and do what you want to do, right? But what you should do is, first of all, just stop the admonishment, right? Men don't see you. You're acting like an authority figure, and men don't want to get in relationships with authority figures, right? And you look like the way you're coming off is like you're a type of person where you have big expectations and low tolerance, and men don't want to walk into a situation like that because why? We know we're gonna mess up at some point. We know. So we don't want to walk into a situation where we already know you got low tolerance already. We know already. Then you're not the person for us. You're a person for like a younger dude or an older fella, maybe in his 60s, 70s years old. That's where you should be looking. You should be getting on Silver Singles or something like that, and you should be on there. You'll be a tenderoni on Silver Singles, someplace like that, right? And them dudes would, just because they want to be with a red bone or they want to be with somebody like you, they would, based on looks, they would overlook the fact of your high demanding personality, your bad chemistry, and your horrible sexual tension that you don't even create sexual tension. So why would a man be interested? Why would a man be pushing to be in a situation? I see. See, this is why men and women don't think the same. Women look at the situation like, I'm cute. What's the problem? So I never had problems before. Why am I having a problem now? Oh, it's because I'm older. No, it's not because you're older. That has a portion of it. That's a small portion of it. The real issue is the fact that you've never had a good personality because you never had to. You never had to have a personality that was open to having open to long-term relationship, right? You never had to, right? Because I got men all everybody is, right? You always have men after you, right? So why do you have to have a good personality? Women don't get this, man. Why do you have to have a good personality? If you always got men after you, why should you change? This working for you, but it's not working for you. It's the fact that men want to have sex with you. That's initially why they're talking to you. It's not because they saw your math test and said, you know what, she got 98% out of 100, on her math test. Let me go over there and try to see if I can talk to her. That's not why men are approaching you. Or they saw you feed a homeless man. Oh, you know, I'm sorry for the homeless man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna talk to you. That's not why they're approaching you. 9 times out of 10, they're approaching you because they got aroused by you. They had some type of arousal by you, and they felt like, hey, man, you know what? Let me introduce myself. Let me go on over and see if I can make it happen. And they have to risk public humiliation by going. See, women don't really understand this, man. Men have to risk on a daily basis public humiliation trying to talk to a woman, especially in front of her girlfriends or her coworkers or her, you know, her family. You have to risk all this public humiliation all day, all night, right? And women think, oh man, you're supposed to just be this, you know, super hard G that just can just plow through all this rejection. Men get tired of being rejected. Hello, is anybody listening? Is anybody listening? Men get tired of being rejected at these massive rates and so colorfully being rejected. They get tired of it after a while. About 4 or 5 years, they get tired of it. And they start saying, you know what? The beauty appearance is good. I like that, but let me put more emphasis on the attitude and the energy coming off to the person. Let me do that instead. Because these women with these high beauty appearances, they think they could just do whatever. And they can for a while. They can for a while until men get tired of them. Men get tired of it. If a man want to be with me, he had to do this, 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 he had to do this. And you giving off that kind of energy? Man, good dudes are going to avoid you like the plague. Only dudes looking for sex are going to be really running up that hill. Good dudes are not looking for women that's going to have that type of attitude. But that's me. Okay, we're going to do a part 2, y'all. We're going to get into it, man, because I feel like we just barely scratching the surface of what's going on here. We got so much to unpack with this situation. So I'm going to do a whole series on this, right? We're going to do the series. So this is part 1. So y'all get your popcorn. We're going to be back with part 2 in just a little while.